Today I am going to talk on the similes of each hindrance. First is the sensual desire or kama chanda. The first hindrance is, this is the first hindrance, sensual desire or kama chanda. Kama means sensual pleasure. Chanda means desire, wish or intention. Therefore, kama chanda is desire for pleasant sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, and mind object. These are the essential objects. Then, when the eye sees the present form, the ear hears the present sound, the nose smells the present odor, the tongue tastes the present flavor, body touches a present object, or mind remembers the present idea, sensual desire may arise. If mindfulness is weak, the mind begins to think. When the sensual desire arises, mind begins to think, this is beautiful, this is pleasant, this will make me happy, I want more of it. In Samanya Sutta and Dīgha Nikāya, number 2, the Buddha compares sensual desire to death. When sensual desire is present, the mind is like a person in debt. He borrows using credit cards, bank loans, and from money lenders, he borrows. Then it feels complete and always searches outside itself for satisfaction. It depends again and again on sight, sound, smell, taste, touches, memories, and imagination. When sensual desire is abandoned, mind feels relieved, like a person free from debts. All the credit cards are paid, bank loans are paid. That is one simile given in Dīgha Nikāya. Then the second simile given in Sangara Sutta in Samyutta Nikāya, number 46, the Buddha gives another simile. Sensual desire is like a bowl of water mixed with colors. When water is colored by dye, a person cannot see his image, his reflection clearly. In the same way, when the mind is colored by sensual desire, it cannot see the object as it really is. Desire adds beauty, fantasy, memories, expectations, and promise for happiness. Then the mind believes its own, mind believes its own coloring. Sensual desire usually begins with the pleasant feeling. Buddha teaches, dependent on feeling, craving arises. Vedana patya tanma. Feeling is Vedana. When pleasant feeling is not known with mindfulness, craving follows it. The mind wants to repeat the pleasant experience, possess it, continue it, and build identity about it. The meditator should observe this process simply. Sensual desire is present. When sensual desire is present, he simply becomes aware of it. Sensual desire is absent. Sensual desire has arisen because of pleasant feeling, distorted perception, and unwise attention. Sensual desire fades when I observe it with mindfulness and wisdom. You know, the modern life often strengthens sensual desire by combining many sense objects together. Person may eat while watching a movie. Then taste is mixed with sight, sound, feeling, and imagination. Restaurant may use decoration, music, fragrance, beautiful presentation, comfortable seats, and a story about the food. A movie theater may use a large screen, strong sounds, movements, vibration, wind, bodily sensation. In this way, the six sense doors can work together to increase desire. The remedy is wise reflection. We are practicing mindfulness, therefore we start having mindful reflection. The meditator reflects, this object is impermanent, whether it is sight, sound, smell, and so forth. This present pleasure is impermanent. This desire is impermanent. It cannot give lasting satisfaction. It is not mine, not I, and not myself. The meditator may also use the perception of unattractiveness, asubha nimitta. We mentioned this earlier. Contemplation of the 32 parts of the body. We mentioned them earlier. The 9 charnel grounds contemplation and the 4 elements help the meditator see the beauty without fantasy and attachment. Other supports are sense restraint, moderation in eating, good friendship, kalyana mitra, dhamma discussion. By repeatedly weakening the cause of sensual desire loses its force. It is not a person, it is not I, me, or mine. It is a conditioned Dhamma. When these conditions are removed, it fades away. Then the second hindrance, this morning I mentioned, when you attain the jhanas, you have to overcome these hindrances. Second hindrance is ill will. or Vyapada. Or Vyapada. This word should not be understood only as a small dislike. It includes anger, hatred, hostility, resentment, irritation, resistance, and the wish to hurt, reject, or attack. It grows from dosa, the root of aversion. He mentioned loka dosa more. This is dosa. Dosa is the hidden tendency to resist, reject, dislike, oppose, and push away what is unpleasant. Vyapada is a strong attitude of hostility towards a person, object, situation, or even oneself. If it is not known mindfully, it may grow into anger, harsh speech, harmful body reaction, and remorse afterward. Therefore, the meditator should recognize evil earlier. It is better to know the first movement of resistance than to wait until anger has already come out through words or actions. When evil is known early, it can be weakened before it becomes strong. So, then similes, again in Dīghanika Samanyapala Sutta, Buddha compares ill will to sickness. When ill will is present, the mind is like a sick person. It is feverish, burning, and uncomfortable. It cannot enjoy peace, cannot enjoy food. It will be when it is abandoned, the mind feels like a person recovered from sickness, healthy and at ease. Second simile is given again in Sanghya Sanghara Sutta. Ill will is compared to boiling water. When water is heated and boiling, person cannot see his reflection clearly. In the same way, when the mind is heated by anger and ill will, it cannot see clearly what is beneficial for himself, for others, and for both. Evil may arise from a small sign of friction. Someone may say one word we do not like. Someone may criticize us, ignore us, disagree with us, or obstruct our wish. If mindfulness is weak, the mind takes that sign and endangers it. It may think, this person hurt me before, this person is hurting me now, this person will hurt me again in future. Same pattern may extend to friends and enemies. This person helped my enemy, He has helped my enemy in the past, he will help my enemy in future. This person helped my friend, or this person helped my enemy. When mind repeats these thoughts, ill will becomes stronger. This is the danger of unwise attention. At first, there is only a small friction. Then friction becomes irritation. Irritation becomes ill will. Ill will becomes anger. Anger may become harsh speech, bodily action. Afterwards, restlessness and remorse arise. Then some people even take pleasure in anger. They justify it and make it stronger. They think anger makes them powerful. They think attacking others gives satisfaction. This is the dangerous mistake. It will first burn the mind of the person who holds it, and then it harms others. The main remedy for ill will is metta, loving friendliness. Metta is friendliness, goodwill, and sincere wish for oneself and others to be well and happy. When the mind is filled with metta, ill will has no room to grow. That is why when we practice meditation, we begin metta practice first. The meditator may reflect, this anger is suffering. This ill will hurts my mind. This person like me wants happiness and does not want suffering. This anger is impermanent. This ill will is not mine, not I, not myself. The meditator may also practice methods directly, like may I be free from hatred, may I be free from anger, may I be peaceful, may this person also be free from anger, free from suffering, may this person be peaceful, may all beings be free from hatred and fear. This is the very good practice to overcome anger. At first this may be difficult because we are not used to this. When anger is strong, the mind may resist metta. But metta is training. When we train metta, our mind will be full of metta. By repeating it again and again, mind becomes softer. Compassion, appreciative joy, and equanimity also support freedom from ill will. We remember when these four Brahmaviharas always come in one package. When we practice metta, all other three also grow together. Good friends and Dhamma discussions help us remember the danger of anger and the benefits of kindness. By practicing mindfulness, restraint in speech and action, wise attention and loving friendliness, the meditator weakens the root of ill will. Dosa. Ill will is not a person It arises because of causes and conditions, and when those causes and conditions are removed, it passes away. Then, third hindrance, dullness and drowsiness, is called thina midda. Third hindrance is dullness and drowsiness, or thina midda. We must remember that. Thina means stiffness, dullness, or sluggishness of mind. Midda means drowsiness, heaviness, or sleepiness of body and mind. Together, they make the mind heavy, unclear, weak, and unable to stay with the meditation object. This does not mean ordinary healthy sleep. Whenever we are tired, we normally sleep. This does not mean that. The body needs proper rest. Here we are speaking mainly about dullness and drowsiness as a meditation hindrance. It appears when the meditator wants to practice, but the mind becomes covered, heavy, and unclear with the sleepiness and drowsiness. Again, in Digha Nikaya, Samanyapala Sutta, the Buddha compares dullness and drowsiness to imprisonment. When they are present, the mind is like a person confined in prison. It cannot move freely. It cannot see widely. It cannot enjoy the open air of mindfulness and wisdom. When this hindrance is abandoned, the mind feels like one released from prison. In the Sankyutta Nikaya, in Sanghara Sutta, Buddha gave another simile. Dullness and drowsiness are compared to water covered with moss and water plants. When water is covered, a person cannot see his reflection. In the same way, when the mind is covered by dullness and drowsiness, mindfulness, investigation, and wisdoms are covered, they are not active. Then sometimes this state may feel quiet, but it is not true concentration. Actually, we have seen people in meditation, as soon as they sit in 10 minutes, they start nodding, like a tree blown by the wind. It's forward, like this, and like this. And after about an hour reading the bell, then they open their eyes and they say, I have attained a fourth jhana. That is what they attain jhana. Mind may be soft, blank, heavy, or peaceful in a dull state. The meditator should not mistake this for jhana. We must remember jhana is a very active state, especially first jhana, second jhana. Even in Anupada Sutta in Majjhima Nikaya, Buddha mentioned the qualities, the number of my mental states present in jhanas. When Sariputta attended, and Buddha read Saripputta's mind, when Buddha was giving a sermon to Diganaka. Diganaka is Venerable Sariputta's nephew. Buddha was giving a Dhamma sermon to him. While giving Dhamma sermon, Venerable Sariputta was fanning the Buddha, and while fanning the Buddha, Venerable Sariputta listened to the Dhamma. While he was listening to the Dhamma, Buddha was feeding Venerable Sariputta's mind. And he saw Venerable Sariputta's mind attaining a status of jhana, and he saw the mental factors present in Sariputta jhana. You can see Anupada Sutta in Majjhima Nikaya, Sutta number 111. The true concentration has clear clarity, brightness, steadiness, and awareness. A sleepy and an unclear state is thina mitra. Dullness and drowsiness may arise because of low energy, laziness, overeating, discouragement, lack of interest, physical tiredness, sickness, medicine, or sometimes some medicine makes you sleepy. Old age like me, or lack of sleepiness. Sometimes the body truly needs rest. At other times the mind is sinking into hindrance. This hindrance may also arise when the meditator loses interest in the object of meditation. The breath seems ordinary, the body seems ordinary, Dhamma seems ordinary, then the mind becomes bored and begins to think. If mindfulness is weak, the meditator may not notice until the head nods, as I mentioned earlier. Eyes closed, the meditation object disappears. Buddha gave practical instruction to Venerable Moggallana when he instructed with the drowsiness before enlightenment. Venerable Moggallana was meditating and also before attaining enlightenment. It was Moggallana Pachalayati. Moggallana, you are nodding, Buddha said. First, then Buddha gave some instruction. First, do not continue attending to the perception of support drowsiness. If that does not work, reflect on the Dhamma one has learned. This is the reason why we Sutta, Data, Manasa, Paritita. You learn Dhamma, remember Dhamma. When you remember Dhamma, use that Dhamma to investigate in order to avoid sleepiness and drowsiness. If drowsiness remains, recite the Dhamma aloud. Don't do it in retreats. Other people will be thinking that you are crazy. But when you are doing meditation by yourself, you do that. If it continues, one may pull the earlobes with his thumbs and index finger, pinch earlobes hard enough so that you can feel the pinch. Okay? Rub the limbs and then wash the eyes, look around or look up into the open sky. One may develop the perception of light, aloka sanya. Buddha recommended in Amrita Nikaya, use for using Alokasanya. Making the mind bright as if it were daytime. One may practice walking meditation. If the body truly needs rest, one may lie, go to bed and have a short nap. Lie down mindfully in the lion's posture with the intention to rise. That is what Buddha recommended. When we sleep, sleep on the right with the intention of getting up in certain time. So you can do that. In practical meditation guidelines, one may open the eyes, straighten the body, bring more energy into the posture, or face the earlobes with the thumbs and index finger. Firmly, Buddha also recommended this. Make it firmly enough to become alert. When the dullness breaks away, return to the breath. Okay, then the meditator may also arouse energy through the three elements of effort. Beginning effort, continuing effort, and the strong effort. That is Arambha Dhatu, Nikkama Dhatu, and Parakkama Dhatu. First one begins, then one continues, and then strengthen the effort. Parakkama Dhatu. Moderation in eating is also important. If one eats too much, the body becomes heavy, as we know, and the mind becomes sleepy. And then changing posture can help. If sitting posture, drowsiness, stand or walk. Walking meditation is especially useful because it brings energy, movement and alertness. Dullness and drowsiness are not I, me or myself. They are conditioned dhammas. When the causes and conditions are understood and then removed, they fade away. Sleepiness and drowsiness. Fourth hindrance is restlessness and remorse. Uddhacca bhukucca. Uddhacca bhukucca. Uddhacca means restlessness, agitation, or unsettled movement of the mind. Kukucca means remorse, worry, or regret over what has been done or left undone. Something you could not finish, then you begin to worry about it. When this hindrance is present, the mind cannot stay peacefully. When the meditation object cannot stay peacefully with the meditation object, it moves here and there. It thinks about the past, worries about the future, or becomes disturbed by something in the present. Again, in my Dīgha Nikāya, Samanya Sutta. Samanya Sutta is very important sutta. Of course, all the suttas are important. Samanya is particularly important for the monastics. Samanya Phala means fruit of seclusion. Samanya Phala means fruit of seclusion. In the Sutta, Buddha compares restlessness and remorse to slavery. When this hindrance is present, the mind is like a slave. It is controlled by worry, regret, fear, and agitation. It wants peace, but it is pulled again and again by remorse, plans, and anxiety. When restlessness and remorse are abandoned, the mind feels like one released from slavery. Again in Sanghatanika Sankara Sutta, restlessness and remorse are compared to water stirred by the wind. When water is rippling, swirling, and churned into waves, a person cannot see his reflection clearly. In the same way, when the mind is stirred by restlessness and remorse, it cannot see clearly what is beneficial for oneself or others or both. Restlessness may concern the past, future and present. The mind may run from one object to another without settling. Remorse usually concerns the past. One may remember something done and think, I should not have done that. One may remember something left undone, thinking, I should have done that. One may regret something and said, something not said, something missed or some opportunities lost. Remorse is useful only when it leads to wisdom and correction. If it helps one confess a mistake, ask forgiveness, restrain oneself, or act more wisely in the future, it has served a useful purpose. Restlessness and worry or remorse, that is why in the monastic life there is the practice called apatti desana. In Rahula Sutta, Buddha mentioned to Rahula, when you do something wrong, immediately confess to another monk, so that your mind will be relieved of remorse. And that's a very good practice because if we die without confession, then our rebirth will be miserable. And therefore it is better to find someone, another monk or nun, to confess. When restlessness and remorse arise, the meditator should know them directly. This is restlessness. This is remorse. This is worry. This is regret. One does not follow every thought. One sees the mental state clearly and return to the present object of meditation. When the mind is disturbed by the past, know it as past. When mind is disturbed by the future, know it is future. When it is disturbed by something present, know it as present. Now, certain things that we have done in the past, and then remember, this is past. When we think of the future, we think it is future. Now what I have to do is keep my mind in the present moment. In this way, mindfulness cuts through confusion. And then, if an unwholesome action has been done, acknowledge it immediately, honestly, learn from it, and resolve not to repeat it again. If possible, correct the mistake, apologize, or make amends. After that, return to the practice. Endless self-punishment is not the path. Don't torture your mind by regretting, repenting all the time when you have made a mistake. If wholesome action was left undone, learn from it. Resolve. Next time I will be more mindful. Next time I will act more wisely. In this way, remorse becomes wisdom rather than suffering. See, the same thing we can use to develop our wisdom. Buddha's teaching gives practical ways to overcome this hindrance. Learning the Dhamma gives the mind a wholesome object to remember. Asking proper questions helps remove the confession. Associate with experienced practitioner calms the mind. Good friends do not increase fear, regret, and agitation. Therefore, associate with good friends. Always Kalyana Mitra, association with Kalyana Mitra is very helpful. That is why Buddha said Kalyana Mitra is the whole spiritual life, complete spiritual life. They help us remember the Dhamma and continue the practice with confidence. Good Dhamma talk also helps. When the mind listens to wise speech, reflects on wholesome teachings, and remembers the path, agitation gradually settles. Restlessness and remorse do not arise without cause. They are fed by unmindful reflection, careless speech and action, and only regret and lack of clear understanding. They fade through mindfulness, ethical restraint, correction of mistake, asking forgiveness when needed, good friendship, Dhamma learning, and so forth. Last hindrance is doubt, vicikiccha. That is the fifth hindrance. Doubt is perplexity, confusion, hesitation, uncertainty that obstruct the mind. When doubt is present, the meditator cannot move forward steadily. The mind becomes divided. It hesitates and does not know which way to go. Again in Devanikaya, Samanya Parasutta Buddha compares doubt to a dangerous desert road. When doubt is present, the mind is like a traveler on a desert road who does not know the direction and does not feel safe. In the same way, when doubt is strong, the meditator does not know what to trust, where to go, how to continue. When doubt is abandoned, the mind feels like one who has reached safety from the desert. Again in Samyutta Nikaya Sanghara Sutta, Buddha gave another simile, and doubt is compared to muddy water placed in the dark. Water is muddy and also placed in the dark. Both are equally bad. When water is turbid, unsettled, muddy and dark, person cannot see his reflection clearly. In the same way, when the mind is covered by doubt and confusion, it cannot see clearly what is beneficial for oneself, for others, or both. A common cause of doubt is confusion about what is wholesome and what is unwholesome, what should be followed and what should not be followed. Doubt may also arise through association with people who increase confusion. That is very important. Remember, when you want to practice Dhamma, if the mind is turning doubtful throughout, then it keeps doubt, arising doubt again and again. Without first attention, doubt grows. Doubt may arise towards the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, the teaching, the method of one's own ability to practice. The mind may think, is this the right path? Can I really practice? Is this teaching true? Should I continue? When these thoughts are repeated without mindfulness and wisdom, doubt becomes hindrance. Most serious form of doubt is doubt in the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. If one doubts the Buddha, one may not trust the enlightened one, his attainment, as the teacher who discovered and taught the path. If one doubts the Dhamma, one may not trust the method of practice. If one doubts the Sangha, one may not believe noble disciples, realize liberation, or that realization is possible. Then the person may not follow the Dhamma and Dhamma path carefully. He may change the practice according to personal opinions, neglect the original instructions, or lose confidence before the result can appear. Now friends, there is also doubt about oneself. A meditator may think, can I really practice? Can I really understand Dhamma? Can this path work for me? This is how doubt arises. So friends, I think we have enough instructions already to overcome the hindrances, and you have learned something. We don't have much time to talk. There is the bell is running out twice. Okay, have a wonderful day and continue your practice.